Welcome to Sports Desk, keeping on top of your team's news, stats, and wins. This is SIBN Sports.
Folks, this is SIBN Sports, keeping you on top of your team's news, stats, and wins. I'm back. Matthew Buggs here with
Clara Soulette, your girl. What's up, y'all? Listen, he's back, y'all. What's up, Matthew? Welcome back to the Sports Desk.
Yes, finally.
Man, we missed you last week. You know, you were doing your service, doing your training and everything. And, you know, we appreciate your service, man, but I know it's hard to leave and miss the show, man. I know you love it so much.
Well, this is home. You know, this is home. This is what I do.
Well, we're so glad to have you back. We did have Stan the man standing in for you last week. We had a great time laughing and talking. You know how we do it. So, hey, listen, we're going to cry today. We're going to laugh today. And we're going to be serious today, okay? Mm-hmm. Because NFL is just off the chains right now, man. Week 14, so much craziness going on, and we're going to talk about it all. But right now, I want to start. I know we always start with the Falcons.
Right.
But we got to hold it up for a second. Because we got to have some talk about the Falcons.
Got a couple interesting things about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Falcons. Listen, look at the Broncos. 26-13 over the Raiders. Denver Broncos are now 10-3. Peyton Manning is just leading that team in such an awesome way. I've been watching Denver every week. I've said that Peyton Manning has the ability to do great things. We all know that, right? But to watch it before our very eyes, it's amazing what he has done with that team. I mean, it's just ridiculous, don't you think?
Well, there have been talks of him being the MVP this year, and I definitely
that would be so awesome.
I definitely cannot disagree with that. You got a guy that came in, they started off 0-2.
Yeah.
Everyone thought like, oh, this is just the worst for him.
Right.
But, you know, they turned things around, and now they've gotten things to where it's just unbelievable. And you got to admire these comebacks for certain teams like this in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, you got RG3 on the rise up in Washington as well, and that's admirable.
Yeah.
And now Denver's position is interesting.
It is interesting.
Make the playoffs. What's going to happen to them next is the question.
I know. Just to watch them, they're at the top of the AFC West right now, 10-3. They're pretty much clinched it. There's nobody can even touch them right now. So it's very interesting. Now, Houston fell in Week 14. I mean, they fell miserably.
Hard. It's just like Atlanta.
Huh?
Well, Atlanta didn't fall as miserable, but for some reason, to me, Houston mimics Atlanta in a way when I kind of think about it.
Oh yeah.
And beyond record-wise, there's a lot of comparisons to make. But
when you look at that, though, it's pretty interesting, don't you think? I mean, both teams, have done pretty much the same. They kind of mirror each other right now.
Oh yeah.
With the wins and losses and things, and how they're losing, it's ridiculous, but. Football this week, I mean, after watching some of the games, now this is the one I said we're going to laugh, cry, and all that stuff right this week. So listen, the Browns beat the Chiefs 30-7.
How do we laugh about that one? Hey, you tell us
first.
Did you laugh or cry about that one? Let us know on our Facebook page. www.facebook.com/SIBN. Let us know if you cry about that one or should you laugh about that one.
Okay? Because the Browns have made a clear statement that they are not the worst team in the NFL.
We are bad. But not
I
for
didn't say
long.
bad. Right. I didn't say they were bad.
No,
saying,
bad.
Oh, bad.
Yeah,
okay,
Bravo
I'm
Alpha
sorry.
Delta.
B-A-D. Right, they are. So, they won 30-7. I mean, they had a great game. I mean, what can you say? It does tell you something about the future of the Browns, though, I think, with the young team and everything. Looks like they may have a future. But it ain't right now.
I'm willing to bet.
Another funny one.
It'll take a bit.
Another funny one. I don't know if we should laugh or cry about this one either. Maybe you should ask the fans this, but the Seahawks beat the Cardinals 58-0.
Hey, that's hilarious right there. That is freaking outstanding. You know what? God only knows. We don't know anymore because from the moment we saw Arizona, we were like, hey, they look great.
Go ahead, talk about them. I need you to talk about
And then all of a sudden, we're like, Ken Wisenhunt's doing great. Kevin Cobb's up there doing his thing. But the thing is, they lost one game. And then that one game turned to 2. And then that 2 turned to 3. And then that 3 turned to 4. And they started to slowly crumble. Was what the heck happened? Is it in their defense? Was it in their offense?
Right.
I mean, take a look right here. They're 32nd in the league in points. They are 32nd in the league in yards. They are 28th in the league in passing yards. And hold the phone, folks. They are 32nd in the league in rushing yards. They are last, almost
everything.
last, and last.
Right. So, I mean, when you go from being 4-0, they were right there with Houston and Atlanta, and they were all 4-0. The Cardinals lost. Everybody said, oh, it's no big deal. You know, they got a little shaky. They'll be all right. But then they lost again.
And again, until now, they're just.
I mean, it's just like they can't win. You know what I'm saying? After a while, the Browns going to catch them. Maybe
we are bad.
We're bad,
but not that bad.
But not that bad. I mean, but it's just amazing. How do you not score any points? I mean, I don't know. That's just ridiculous, man. So, another game that just had me so excited about. Now, this one, I was jumping up and down because I wanted this to happen really bad.
Oh, yeah? And what would that be?
The Giants beat the heck out of the Saints. 52-27.
Hey.
I said beat the heck out of the Saints. 52-27.
They're going to beat them.
Right.
The Giants.
Yeah. But, Giants. You know, now, when you look at the Giants, and you look at how they played, man, like in the first quarter, the Giants scored 14. So they came out banging. They were like, we're here to play. We're not playing around, right? The second quarter, they scored 7. The third quarter, they scored 14 points. And then in the fourth quarter, they scored 17 points. The Saints scored 0.
Goose egg.
See, so that says a lot, man, about Giants are not playing around. They are just really, you know, Manning is doing his thing. 22 of 35 for 259 yards. He had 2 interceptions, but he threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, when you throw that many, it's just ridiculous. I mean, what more can you say? The Giants are not playing around.
I can't say anymore.
You can't say anymore,
but you know what? They'll be here in Atlanta on Sunday, and I will say that we will defend that dome.
That leads us to one more conversation.
One more conversation.
That we said we were going to wait.
We have to hold it.
We said we were going to wait.
Like to wait.
But we're at that moment now. The Falcons.
Yes. I mean, oh, no.
Were beat by the Carolina Panthers.
They were in Carolina.
30-20. Listen, don't come over here making excuses. With
No, because it mimics their score from the last time when they played Carolina.
What was the score last time?
And they had to come back 30-28. So, and that's the problem with Atlanta. These close games, they're starting to kill everybody. And they just did not show up to play like we were talking about earlier.
Didn't show up to play. Let's talk about this. First quarter, 0 points. Second quarter, 0 points. In the first half, you don't score any points against Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Well, check this out. Here's my interesting fact, as I told you guys I was going to tell you.
I'm ready. I'm
Carolina, and you can Google it. You can look it up. You can go to ESPN, Rewind, whatever the heck you want to do. Carolina has not won a coin toss all season. Until Atlanta. Oh, it just happens. It just happens to be the day that the sun shines up the back of a Panther's butthole that they win the coin toss and score on the first drive of the game.
Oh my God!
Who does that? It's always Atlanta. It's always Atlanta.
Why did this have to happen
Lucky
to
stuff
us?
Happens when certain teams play Atlanta, and I hate it. I hate it for the life of me.
Yeah.
And with that being said.
Okay, so Cam Newton is running. You got him in your grasp, pulling him. And you know how quick and how much he moves his feet and how strong he is. You better get more than his shirt tail, man. This kid gets away from the tackle, right? Not only does he get away, he runs the ball for 32 yards. What in the...
It's as if nobody was back there to tackle him.
Hello? Cam Newton is running the ball. Somebody go and stop him.
Never seen a quarterback run the ball before.
Is that, like RG3 gets to running and everybody chasing him. Cam Newton take off running, everybody stand by and watch him. Is he that good?
RG3 will take a couple of concussions.
He'll take concussions for his team. But I don't know what more to say about this Panthers game. It just, I don't know what happened to our Falcons.
Matt Ryan was 34 for 49 for 342 yards and 2 touchdowns, and honestly, not a bad game. But
but when did he get him?
Cam Newton had.
When did he get him? In the second half, he had no yards in the first half.
Well, at the end of the game, I like to see you like to see these collective stats. It's like, wow, he should have. But now that you mentioned that, it is true,
right?
Check this out, Cam Newton was 23 for 35, 287.
But Cam Newton played. How many rushed though?
Want to know? This is another interesting fact. Want to know this? This is another interesting fact.
Go ahead.
He had 116 rushing yards, which is a career high.
That's my see. You just hit the nail on the head. You got your girl all excited. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. Not only did he pass the ball, not only did he do that, but he also rushed the ball. That's what I'm talking about.
Well. He did very well.
Over 100 yards rushing. Now, that brings me to another point. If he had 101 rushing yards, how many did Turner have? Let's see, 14 out of 7. 7 rushes, 14 yards.
You know what? There's another interesting fact about that'll be coming up when we talk about the Atlanta and New York game coming up on Sunday.
Really?
Oh, yes. More interesting facts. I love interesting facts.
Oh, well, see, I love interesting facts, too. You're going to have to help me with that one. And even our boy Rodgers didn't have a great game. He was 4 of 21. Was the Carolina defense that doggone good that we couldn't even get a run game going?
It's all in Carolina's hustle. It's all in everything for them. That was just their game.
Right.
The fans wanted it. The team wanted it.
I know Cam Newton wanted it real bad.
Cam wanted it real bad because that was one of those close games. So, folks, check this out. We got a lot going on right here. A lot more interesting facts.
I'm
a lot more
y'all,
crying. A lot more
it's getting hot up in this studio, y'all.
But we shall be right back, folks. Don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back here at SIBN Sports, keeping you on top of your team's news, stats, and wins.
SIBN Radio. Attention all artists of all genres. Now you can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, airing now on SIBN Radio. That's right, all artists now, all genres, wholesome and positive, please, can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase. Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, now airing on SIBN Radio. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Or email us at globalcoverage@selectusatv.info.
It's time to pursue our dreams, to chase what we believe in. It's time to work, to give it our very all and not give up. American Family Insurance believes your dreams deserve the best protection. That's why we're committed to being there for you every step of the way.
Donate today and join me in helping the American Cancer Society save lives and end cancer. What will you give?
I was in my mother's living room when the phone call came.
I was in a state of shock. I never thought that could happen to me.
This can't happen. It's not happening to me.
you feel alone. You feel like I'm the only one that has ever experienced what I'm going through. Then all of a sudden your phone rings.
There's something about having that Reach to Recovery volunteer as a part of your life.
To receive breast cancer support through the American Cancer Society Reach to Recovery program or to volunteer for the program, call us at 800-227-2345 or visit us online at cancer.org/breastcancer.
It's always been a part of me to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Whether on my block or around the world. My name is First Lieutenant King, and I move toward the sounds of those who are in need of help.
The few, the proud, the Marines. You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Sports Desk. This is your girl, Clara Salette. And you know him. He's right here with me.
Oh.
None other than Matthew Buggs. Now, Matthew, I don't know if you want to tell us now, but there was something you were saying at the break about the Falcons that coming up against the Giants. Do you want to talk about that now?
Absolutely. Interesting facts,
okay,
folks.
because I'm not going to lie to you, sir.
You're worried.
I'm a tad bit nervous.
You're worried, too.
I'm just a little bit nervous.
It's okay to be. Because
man.
guess what, guys? When you live in Atlanta.
If you going to play the Panthers like that, what you going to do against Eli Manning and the Giants? That's what I want to know.
Well, check this out.
Talk to me.
Even if you don't live in Atlanta and you're an Atlanta fan, you always know to be worried. That it just comes with a part of the job. It just comes with a part of being a fan. You always have to be worried. Because check this out. Atlanta is 8th in the NFL in points. Mm-hmm. They are 8th in yards. They are 4th in passing yards. Okay. Oh, is that a surprise? But you know what? Here's the thing, that interesting fact I was talking about earlier.
I want to hear it.
They are 28th in the league in rushing yards.
Oh.
You want to know how many they got?
How many?
Not even 90.
Oh.
Not even 90. Not even 89. Not even 87.
So, are you trying to say that we're not going to win with the rushing?
The rushing game won't work. They all know that.
It's not going to work? Okay.
They always know. But you know what, though? I am very proud of Jacquizz Rodgers, Jason Snelling, and Michael Turner. They do their job in the moments when they're needed. You can see that Michael Turner these days is not getting the ball like he used to when he first came to Atlanta. Now, the Giants, they are 3rd in the league in points. They are 9th in the league in yards. Okay. They are actually 8th in the league in passing yards. So you see how there's a flip-flop there.
Yeah.
They're also 15th in the league in rushing yards. So
they're not great rushers either.
Check this out. Atlanta, if they can play defense, if they can just board that hole, if they can get after Eli Manning, if they can just do everything they're supposed to, if they know their defensive assignments, if John Abraham can manage to get through the line, if Sean Witherspoon, they've got to get him through as well. Yeah. Those safeties have got to be on their game.
All those guys, man, they've got to really be out there on their game, man, watching that ball.
Can't let Ahmad Bradshaw get through either.
Yeah.
You can't let them run. Victor Cruz, can't let him go out there and just catch all he wants to.
We don't need him dancing his tango in the end zone.
Those safeties have got to be on point. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I believe that, though. I mean, the safeties really, and I mean, we're hurt without Samuels, don't you think?
Well, also, we've been missing Brent Grimes all season, but they've still managed to do a little bit of something.
Right.
I'm missing somebody in each position. But the thing is, it's up to Atlanta's defense. And plus, the one thing they've got to hold on to their heads is that this is the team that you lost to last season. You only scored 2 points against. Then they went on to win a Super Bowl. They only had a 9-7 record. Atlanta, this game is for you.
You've got to hold a
chip. You've got to hold a chip on your shoulder, just like Carolina did against you, and just like Tampa Bay is holding against New Orleans. And folks, if you believe tell us what you think about this game. Check out our Facebook fan page at www.facebook.com/SIBN Sports fan page. Let us know what you think about the game coming up this Sunday.
Now, and then we were talking about Houston mirroring in Atlanta.
Right.
The Patriots beat them 42-14, right?
Yes.
Guess how many points Houston scored in the first quarter?
0.
How many did they score in the second quarter?
I bet you it's 0. I bet you it's 0.
0.
She said 0. It's 0.
Unbelievable. Do you hear
See,
that?
guys?
That's just like what the Falcons just did.
And so, folks, you guys are going to have a homework assignment. Here's the thing, and I really would love to see. Matter of fact, first person who does it, not even the first person, the people who do this, for the first 5 people that can put on our Facebook fan page how the Texans mimic the Falcons, take both of their stats and compare them. Show us how the Texans mimic the Falcons in the way that they do. And the first 5 people that do so will get a shout out and will get a very special present for Christmas. And we'll let you know what that is.
Yes.
But we can't tell you. It's a surprise.
Right. And we need y'all support, and we need you to continue posting, continue talking to us, give us ideas. You guys are telling us how much you like the show, and we appreciate that because this is your show. And the difference here in our show and a lot of shows that are out there is that this is the show that talks the way you would talk. We talk like the regular people talk about the game. You know what I'm saying? When I'm sitting up here...
We from Decatur.
We from the deck, baby. Deck now. Don't be playing.
So you from the wood, we're really from the valley, though.
And I want to talk about Brady because watching the Patriots also, along with just like Peyton Manning with the Broncos, I see the same thing happening here with the Patriots with Brady. They were not doing that well at first, and then now it's like just ridiculous, right? So he had 21 of 35 for 296 passing yards. He threw 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I mean, Brady is on the move. He is not playing around. What do you think about that?
Well, first things first. He decided to put on knee pads. And
Wait a minute. You got to explain that. Don't be trying to go over my head like that.
Quarterbacks, they normally don't wear knee pads, but after his knee injury a few years back, he decided to finally wear knee pads. Okay. Good thing to do. Finally decided to wear some knee pads. But beyond that, you got to give this guy credit because he's big. He's Mr. Big Time. He's always been known as Mr. Big Time.
He is.
Got a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really
I think at the end it's like all of a sudden they just shot out here and they're like 10-3 right now. So
what you want to know another interesting fact?
Yeah, definitely. I love it.
They are actually first in the league in points.
Okay.
They are first in the league in yards. They are 5th in the league in passing yards. And they're not very high up there, but in rushing yards they're 7th. This is in the league, folks.
Right.
They're first place in points and yards. And even the Falcons have that. And the Falcons have a better record than New England right now.
Right. But what does that tell you? It's not just about your record.
It's about who's getting it done.
That's right. And the stats say it all. I mean, at the end of the day, when you play the teams with the stats, you're going to have to put up the numbers in order to win. And that's what always concerns me about the Falcons is that they don't always do that. And we don't have time to be sitting around playing in the first quarter, right? If you want to win, you got to start playing, okay? Come in the game like you want to win.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Stop playing.
If you haven't seen that, you need to go to YouTube.
You got to get me excited, don't you? Listen, another interesting point here is the 49ers and the Dolphins, 27-13. They kept Kaepernick in the game. What's going on in San Francisco? They decided not to put Steve Smith back in, after all the talk.
I thought they were sipping on some of that secret stuff, but I don't know what they're sipping on now.
Well, they winning. What can you say?
Nothing.
That's the point. I'm just saying. You decided to keep Steve Smith out the game and you're winning. So, I mean, sometimes I think these coaches just, the commitment and dedication is good and we appreciate the fact that you're committed and dedicated. But don't at some point you have to make the decision based on what's good for the team. I mean, Kaepernick, this young man has definitely got a future here. He was 18 of 23 for 185 passing yards. But let's talk about his rushing. 6 of 53 for a touchdown. He ran a touchdown. The kid is ridiculous. Talk to me.
Want to know an interesting fact?
I love interesting facts.
They're second in the league in rushing yards. They're second in the league in rushing yards. But you know what? This is it. This is something. This is a flip-flop of Atlanta right now. They are 26th in the league in passing yards. 26th in the league in passing yards.
Okay.
They are 2nd in the league in rushing yards.
Okay.
What is that?
I know, that's crazy.
You mean to tell me you run back? Well, there are a lot of teams, I guess, that run better than they pass, but God bless.
But that seems like the opposite, though. Like, usually, it's harder to rush than it is to pass and receive,
Not for Alabama.
Oh, yeah, right?
For those of y'all that saw the SEC championship, that was probably pretty obvious, don't you think? Alabama, oh my Lord, have mercy. You saw how they gave Georgia the 1-2 punch. They snuck a pass in there somehow, but Georgia could not stop that run.
Yeah.
But beyond that, folks, because we're not going to get into that because it still churns my stomach every time I think about it.
Okay, you can't take it.
Oh, I never can take it.
You can't take that one. We ain't going to talk about that one because you can't handle it. I don't want you to have to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Vikings beat the Bears. The Bears lost to the Vikings 21-14. What happened to Chicago? They fell apart, man, in this game.
If only Q was still with us, I would laugh.
Oh, my God. You'd be laughing at her.
Let me bask in my glory.
Boy, you silly.
No disrespect.
Yeah, but Chicago dropped one. Man, that was interesting. But the Jets came up with a win. The Jets beat the Jaguars 17-10. The Jets came up with a win. Don't you like the way I say that?
The Jets
came up with a win. The Eagles came up with a win over the Buccaneers 23-21.
Oh, heck. Come on, Tampa Bay.
What happened to
y'all got a big game this Sunday.
Right.
Y'all got to shut them jokers down. I know
Man.
I know Josh Freeman and them are still mad for what happened last time. I'm still mad too. It's okay, guys. I hope y'all beat the living daylights out of them Aints.
Right, and then the Ravens and Redskins. I'm telling you, I was on the edge of my seat. That was a game to watch. It was so much freaking fun. Man, I'm telling you, down to the wire, overtime, in the fourth quarter late, RG3 gets hurt. He comes out of the game. Everybody's like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? But the Redskins pull off a win, 31-28. And he's okay. I mean, there was no sprain or anything. There was no tear. So he just had a knee, just a knee injury or whatever. I guess it was probably just a slight sprain, I guess. So he'll be back this week. So, but the boy is looking good, man. I'm telling you, RG3 is not slowing down. He is just playing great ball. And that's what we always talk about.
That should be Rookie of the Year. That man should be Rookie of the Year. His heart, his compassion for the game.
Yeah.
The fact that who cares, he got 100 concussions, he's still going to put his butt out there and play some football.
Right. I mean, he got 15 of 26, 246 yards, and threw a touchdown. I mean, the boy is just really, he doesn't play. And then I know if I look at his rushing yards, I'm sure he had just as many as his guys did. So, because he always rushes the ball. But, he actually had 34 rushing yards. So that's pretty interesting right there. So that's a great look. This week has been just a lot of great things going on, but we've also had some things going on that we have to discuss as well. Because I told you we would laugh, I told you we would be serious, and I told you that unfortunately we would also be sad. We're gonna have to talk about this. It's hard for me to talk about. I love the Cowboys. I am a diehard Cowboys fan. Always have been. I know, but I love them. They are America's team, no matter what you say. A lot of us out there love the Cowboys. I know you guys love the Cowboys. Those of you out there that are like me have always been a Cowboys fan. My bank card has Cowboys on it everywhere I go. They say, oh, you're a Cowboys fan? Yeah, I am.
How do you walk around?
Sad news. Stop it. Stop it. Are you just crazy or what?
All right,
sad news about the death of Jerry Brown. It's sad. I mean, and the bad part about it is the way he died in a crash, expected drunk driving. And I say expected, I'm sure whatever happened is going to come out about what happened. We're going to take a commercial break, y'all, because I need to really talk about this. I'm saddened about it. I'm not going to lie to you. Hate to see these kind of things happen. Give us a second. We'll be right back with you here, SIBN Sports News Desk.
Get to the game. Powered by American Family Insurance. Trey Matthews, one of the top safeties in his class, defined his playing style early on.
I started playing football when I was around 9.
They were doing head-on tackling drills. He was getting ready to hit a guy, and it was like, no, we're not going to let him go against him because he played last year. I was like, no, let him hit it.
Trey didn't know, well, what am I supposed to do? He's much bigger than I am. My husband said, just go at him and go full speed. And he just did it like he had been doing it since he was, younger than 8 or 9.
He's never missed a practice, been late for one. He's a dedicated football player, 12 months out of the year.
Trey's family is very close, and it's helped keep Trey on the path to his dreams.
The closeness of our family is phenomenal.
When I step out of line, my mom is the first one on me.
I know I push him a whole lot more than what some of the other boys' parents do, but that, of course, will help him in the end.
Trey's dream is to be a professional football player. We work out together almost every night.
My dad taught me my work ethic. He taught focus, my body healthy, and hit the books hard.
When Trey starts to talking about what he wants to pursue, I just get behind him 100%. We have a motto that we live by that's put God first, go hard, and have fun. That's in life, in the classroom, and everything that you do.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike about your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. So what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.
All right, y'all. This is your girl, Clara Salette, again at the Sports Desk, SIBN Sports. Here with Matthew. And before the break, we were discussing the Cowboys and the tragedy that happened on this week with one of the players there. We had to also report a tragedy the week before with Javon Belcher of the Chiefs. Just, you don't want to talk about this stuff, but it is what it is. It happened. Unfortunately, Josh Brent, 24 years old, and Jerry Brown, 25-year-old, were riding in the vehicle early on Saturday morning. And Brent hit a curve and skid his car off the road, and the car flipped over, killing Jerry Brown. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. And the sad part about it is that it was because of a DUI. And so these young men were very good friends. They've been friends for a very long time. They played college ball together and on and on. He's very good friends with the family. And you just don't want to hear of senseless deaths like this. I am not happy at all about the fact that a player or anyone would be drinking and driving, because we know how dangerous that is. And a lot of times people always say, I can hold my own. But when you sit early in the morning like that, and, the weather conditions, whatever they may be, it's dark out, can't see well, anything could happen. Don't put yourself in that situation. What do you think about that, Matthew?
It hurts.
Yeah.
It really, really does hurt. And, there are a lot of people out there that have lost friends, that have lost family because they chose to get behind the wheel.
Right.
And, I call it an impairment, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that a lot of people think to themselves when they're about to put themselves in this situation is that, it won't happen to me.
Right.
I'm just going a couple feet. I'm going around the corner.
Right.
But then people don't realize is that when you get to where you're trying to go, and if you get to where you're going by the grace of God, mm-hmm. you don't remember, you don't know how you got there. Some people, it'll come to a point where they'll never get there.
Right.
And that's the worst part about it.
Well, so far the coaching staff has decided that he is still a part of the team. They have not decided to kick him off the team at this point. He faces 2 to 20 years in prison for, I believe it's vehicular homicide, if I'm correct on that. But can you imagine hanging out with your buddy, whatever they were doing, we don't know all the details of it, right? And then all of a sudden, this tragedy strikes, and your friend is dead, and it's your fault, you know. I know a lot of you out there, you're looking at this situation and thinking, man, you know, that's a sad story. But if you think that you can do that, drink and drive, or any of the other things that cause you to be distracted while driving, and you have precious lives and cargo in your vehicle, maybe you should take a second thought about doing that, because it can end in tragedy. But amidst the tragedy, I can say this. Jerry Brown's mother showed up at the memorial service that they had for Jerry Brown for the team this week with Josh Brent. And that said a lot about forgiveness, because even though everybody want to be mad at Josh and say he made a mistake and he messed up, if his mother can forgive, we all can forgive. Let's rally behind this young man. Let's keep him in prayer, because he's dealing with a lot as well before the decision he's made. Let's pray that he gets the help that he needs to turn his life around and get back on the straight and narrow, because there is a second chance for everybody, right?
Well, I honestly say this because I put this out there even for, you know, you fans, that there may be a lot of you that we don't know. And, you know, to you, your friends, your family, to us, you know, to our friends and family and so on and so forth, it's a very, very more than just a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
It can cost your life. It can cost somebody else's life. It can ruin the lives of your friends, your family, others, and so on and so forth, guys.
Yeah.
So before you decide to take that sip and go somewhere, before you decide to, you know, get behind the wheel, look back to moments like this.
Right.
Look back to moments to where you know somebody that got lost. Look back to moments where someone else was lost. Look at the statistics.
Right.
If it's not enough to scare you guys, I don't know what is.
Right.
But it is okay to drink. I don't drink myself. You know, just not even beyond the fact that I'm not. Yeah, you know, it's my decision. Beyond the fact that, you know, if I'm old enough or not. But if it's something you're going to do, be responsible about it. Call a friend.
The NFL has a system where they can call if they've been in that situation so that they can get a ride home.
So
don't make the wrong decision. I tell you, it's a wrong decision. Don't do it. Think about it very carefully before you make that decision, because
truth be told, don't do it at all.
Right.
But, you know, if you're a player, if you're a football player, basketball player, whatever the case may be, not during the season, but think back to moments like this, guys.
Right.
It is truly tragic. It's truly saddening. It upsets me the most. Think before you do what you're about to do.
Yes.
The situation is much larger. It is on a grander scale than what you believe it to be.
Yes. And amongst all the sadness, the Cowboys snuck in a win against the Bengals, 20-19.
That must be something big for. That's a big. That's big
Cowboys have to be excited about that win, and it gave them an opportunity now to get into the playoffs. So amid the tragedy, Dallas is now 7-6. They have an opportunity to get into the playoffs, and you don't want to, you want to see good come out of this problem. They're actually going to be playing Pittsburgh in Dallas coming up.
That could be a game that they could possibly win.
That will be a game that they could possibly win. So shout out to all the Dallas Cowboys, to all the Dallas Cowboy fans. Shout out to the Jerry Brown family, Josh Brent. God be with you. Keep them in your prayers, because they are going to need the prayers. They're going to need the support right now. So you guys, my fans, our fans, right? We want you to keep them in prayer. Look out for them. Pray for them. Because they're going to need all the support they can get right now for what they're going through. And so I said we would have a sad moment, and we did. But we get back up.
And speaking of shout-outs, I want to shout out my battle buddies that I was up with in last week training. Wiley, Peebles, Ramsey, you guys are great. Hope you're listening in on this if you get the chance. But, big shout-out to all of our SIBN sports fanatics. Make sure that y'all keep on checking us out on our Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/SIBNsports.fanpage. Make sure that y'all tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows something about it.
Yes. Know something about it. Know something about it, right? Oh, don't get the rap going now. Something else great happened this week. It was a shock to so many people, but the Heisman Trophy winner,
Johnny Football,
OMG, was a freshman quarterback.
Johnny Football.
What in the world? Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Football.
Quarterback for Texas A&M. What in the world? What do you think about that?
Another quarterback award. And I would like to see Matt Tateo get it, but hey.
Yeah. It's just interesting that it was a freshman, though, at this point, because he just started. He has plenty of time to win. You got the seniors on their way out. I don't know, but I guess you don't do it by that, You base it on the best player wins, right?
Yeah.
You ain't happy about it. I mean, what?
I mean, I would have loved to see a defensive player get it. Just for once in
kicks and giggles, huh?
Once in almost a lifetime. Well,
a great guy. I mean, what I'm saying is, I know we discussed this because of the running backs. There's so many great running backs in college football, but this has become an award. Pretty much, I think what we said was for quarterbacks. I mean, could anybody else win?
Well,
do you have to be a quarterback to win?
Let us know, folks. Facebook fan page.
Please do, because we want to talk about that, because that just drives us crazy. Just the thought that there's nobody else even in the runnings for that. What the quarterbacks?
Well, speaking of running, as we kind of switch on over our leagues here.
Let's go here.
What's going on with who's running now? The Lakers?
Oh my God!
Who's running now? Are they running it, or are they running?
Are they being run?
Are they being overrun, or are they running it?
Well, I mean, as far as the Lakers are concerned, what can you say? I mean, I told everybody, everybody thought just because Howard was coming over that this was just going to make such a difference for the Lakers. That it was just going to catapult them to the top. They were going to stay there and never have any problems. But you got Nash, you got Howard, you got Gasol, you got Kobe, all of these great players on one team. When you come together with one great team like that, you still have to have what did we say? A leader. And the leader, what? Determines where the team goes. I know you need a coach. We all understand that.
We need a good coach. A great coach.
Well, we're not going to go into that. So, I mean, listen.
Well, check it out.
This is the deal. Magic is even asking, where do we go from here with the Lakers? That's what Magic wants to know. What is going on with the Lakers, okay? And they didn't pick Phil Jackson. Now, we know what Phil Jackson brings to the table when it comes to being a great coach, right? Not to take away from, I never say his name right. What's his name? D'Antoni? How do you say his name? D'Antoni, okay? Don't want to take away from D'Antoni.
Doing pretty good defensively, though, with the Lakers. A little bit
better.
Well,
but does it matter if your offense is not playing well, though? I mean, you can keep people from scoring, but you need to be able to score, too. Okay?
True.
So, I don't know. Was it a bad call for the Lakers to not go with Phil Jackson at this point? And because of what's going on with the Lakers, will that be something that hangs over their head at this point?
The Zen Master. Where is he?
Who?
The Zen Master. Phil Jackson.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
I know. I made it sound like a movie or something like that.
You made it sound like something else. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, and the thing is, we'll have to get into that right when we get back, folks. As well as the Hawks. They're doing pretty good right now. Third atop the Eastern Conference.
9-12 record for the Lakers, by the way.
I didn't say the Lakers.
I'm just saying. I just had to throw that in there.
She's worried about the Lakers.
OMG.
But hey.
It's just horrible to
see
a team fall apart like that.
There may be a new face in the West. And
that's what's going to happen. But I love camaraderie. Let's do it, baby.
We'll get back. We'll come right back when we get back here at SIBN Sports. Folks, don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back here at the Sports Desk. Make sure that you keep on listening and listening and listening. And don't.
Listening to SIBN Radio. We'll be right back in a moment. Now is the time to have your business online with the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. That's right, SIBN or Select USA TV will produce your video on the spot. Picture business videos, on location streaming videos, or on location production videos. Dial 678-830-3118 or call the office at 404-910-5019 Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now is the time to have your business online with SIBN. The Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network now offers picture videos, on-location streaming videos, and on-location production videos for your event cause, brand, or mission. Call today, 678-830-3118 or 404-910-5019. Attention all artists of all genres, now you can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, airing now on SIBN Radio. That's right, all artists now, all genres, wholesome and positive please, can be featured on Gas Global Artist Showcase. Global Artist Showcase on the CATL show, now airing on SIBN Radio. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. Or email us at globalcoverage@selectusatv.info.
Are you a spoken word artist?
Now is your time to be featured online. Tier 1 Promotions on the CATL show is looking for spoken word artists to be featured
on regular rotation.
If you are a spoken word artist, now is your time to be promoted on Tier 1 Promotions with the CATL show. For more information, dial 404-910-5019. That's 404-910-5019. Or email us your bio and your links to work online. Global coverage at selectusatv.info. Global coverage at selectusatv.info. Calling all spoken word artists nationwide. Nationwide call for all spoken word artists. Nationwide. A nationwide call for all spoken word artists. This has been your CATL Gas Global Artist Showcase promotion.
All submissions must be wholesome and positive, please. Suitable for SIBN television and radio networks.
All right, y'all. We are back here at the Sports Desk, SIBN Sports, with your girl Clara Celette, and none other than, what's that guy's name over there? You are crazy. He's crazy, y'all. That's Matthew Bug. Listen, we were talking about the Lakers. Talking about some NBA basketball, right? So, right now, Yeah, like you said, the Hawks are playing well. I want you to tell me about the Hawks. What's going on with the Hawks? Because we were talking a little bit about that earlier, about how they're playing. What's making the difference for the Hawks, do you think, this time?
Honestly, I believe, part of it comes in with being the schedule. And, now with their division, they have a chance to, sit second in the East. Not a second in the East. They have a chance to sit second in their division, right behind Miami.
Right.
They played pretty well against Miami.
They're 12-6 right now. Miami's 14-5.
Well, and here's the thing. Well, they beat Orlando the other day.
Oh, okay. So they're 13-6 now. Yes. Okay. Let's give them that, because they did beat Orlando. You're right.
Now, and that's the 8th straight one they've taken over Orlando, by the way. And
by the way.
And the thing is that,
to do that.
They have a chance to sit second in their division now and not let Orlando just pave the way on everybody. But they played really close to Miami, so that shows that there's a chance for them. They've even the past 2 contests, they've stuck with them. There's a chance to beat Miami. You can beat the champs.
Yeah.
And, as I said earlier,
the score was 101 to 92. 101 to 92 it's not bad. It was a close game.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you that, Larry
They
Drew,
are beatable, right?
He's doing what he can. You had Josh Smith, who was Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Okay.
Week before last. And people wonder, like, oh, well, since they're playing LeBron and company, how come LeBron didn't get it? So, it probably showed. And, Atlanta, they're doing what they can, even without, of course, we've talked about earlier in the season, no Joe Johnson, no longer any Marvin Williams or whatnot. But they let go of those guys to free up some money. Now, there's a possibility, Howard, if he chooses not to re-sign with LA, that he could be coming back to Atlanta sooner. And, that comes in part from, hey, pitch the woo. We've only got 3 guys on contract next season. So that opens up a lot of cap space, and that's a possibility to finally get your center in here. Build a lot of veteran guy. No, okay. Build some role players and maybe a veteran guy around.
Right.
Big shout out to Jerry Stackhouse as he's still playing, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't old. He ain't old yet. Just don't throw him alley-oop. He's doing fine.
Good. Well, New York is 15-5. They're at the top of the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. 15-5. Miami, as you said, is above in the Southeast. 14-5. Atlanta is right there with them. 13-6. Go Atlanta Hawks.
Check this out.
Yes.
New York tonight, they're playing the Lakers. They're going up to the Garden. And Kobe's done pretty good in the Garden. We know this. But tonight, I think it's probably the night that Carmelo and the Knicks will beat
Carmelo and the Knicks are playing well. Carmelo Anthony is just...
Carmelo is playing like a superstar right now.
He done stepped up, hasn't he?
I think he can definitely become league MVP this year. It is for him. Ever since he's come back from the Olympics, he's been smoking, shooting a 3, taking guys off the dribble like he normally does. For some reason, he has really brought the Knicks up this year. And even the games he missed, he has still brought the Knicks up this year. They're just waiting on Amari Stoudemire to get back, and things will be golden. Things will be
they're winning without him. So what is going to be when he gets back? They're 15-5 right now.
He has no problem coming off the bench.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He has no problem coming off the bench just to get himself back into it. If he starts playing when he plays like a superstar again, he'll be out there getting superstar points and superstar minutes.
Western Conference Southwest, San Antonio is 18-4, still playing. Just ridiculous.
San Antonio, Oklahoma City are pretty tight right now. And
right.
I really, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of the West.
I tell you one thing, Oklahoma is still letting people know that they're coming after it,
Even without James Harden.
Right.
And that's what they should be doing.
Yes. Good for Oklahoma. Go Oklahoma Thunder. I'm from Oklahoma. All my family's there. So shout out to all my family in Oklahoma. I know you guys have been posting all kind of stuff on Facebook about the Thunder. They're so excited about having a team there. That's good for them.
Another interesting fact, that even though the Thunder had a losing record their first season in Oklahoma City, they still sold out all of their home games.
Yes. Why do you think that is?
Fans. They wanted a team, and they got it.
They wanted a team, and Oklahoma is happy to have their team. And they are rallying behind their team like you wouldn't believe, and it's awesome to see. There's nothing like having the city behind you when you're a team, Lose or win, and they are behind them 100%. Good to see that. Go fans, go Oklahoma City, my hometown. So that's pretty awesome to see them doing well.
Brooklyn doing well as well.
Yes.
Battle of the Boroughs.
Yeah.
New York still too, but hey, Brooklyn has a fine, polished team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about them being in the championship. That seat where I'm not sure about them. Wanting to win a championship within now in the next couple of years, but they definitely have a team that can compete. Big shout out to Joe Johnson and Josh Childress, former Hawks players. You guys are awesome.
Aww. On New York Giants at Atlanta. They're calling Atlanta. They're calling Atlanta by 1. Well, I told you I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I am just a little bit nervous.
I'm unsure.
But let's go Falcons. That's all I can say.
At the end of the day, guys, let's go Falcons. That's all that counts.
Denver is going to be at Baltimore. Denver is going to play the Ravens. I tell you, that game is going to definitely be a game to watch. Denver going to Broncos. We know right now that is going to be a huge game for Denver and Peyton Manning.
If the Ravens say they want to make the playoffs, they want to get good position. This is their chance. This is their chance.
I don't see it happening. I'm sorry. It's going to be very interesting to see, though.
Hey,
Green Bay is going to Chicago. We'll see if Chicago can round up after their loss on this week. Washington is going to Cleveland. Well, that's going to be a pretty easy game for Washington, even though Cleveland won against Kansas City.
Hey, guess what happens? If Cleveland beats them, I don't know what to say.
Cleveland ain't beating Washington. I'm sorry.
Get the rags out.
Yeah, get the rags out for real if they do. I mean, it's going to definitely snow, and it's going to snow real, real hard in Florida if that happens. Indianapolis is going to Houston to play Houston Texans. Let's see if they can rebound after their loss this week. What do you think about that?
No.
Jacksonville at Miami. Tampa Bay is going to play the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, this is a rematch game?
Yes.
Josh Freeman, I'm rooting for you guys. Beat the living daylights out of them for what happened last time. You people were cheated. I'm sorry. You guys were cheated.
You people.
You guys were cheated, and this is your chance. Beat the snot out of those grease balls.
So you want Tampa Bay to beat the Saints, and just like we were cheering for the Giants over the Saints.
This must happen. This must happen.
Go Tampa. Go Tampa.
Opportunities.
Minnesota Vikings is going to play St. Louis. Minnesota over St. Louis, correct?
It's most likely Minnesota's game.
Detroit is going to play Arizona.
Well, Detroit's got him. And Arizona slipped, and we've all seen how that's been happening over the past couple weeks.
So Arizona is going to continue to lose, is what you're saying? You say yes. Seattle at Buffalo. Carolina is going to play San Diego. Pittsburgh is going to be at Dallas. Kansas City is going to be at Oakland. That should be easy for Oakland. San Francisco at New England. OMG. Now that's going to be a real test for the 49ers, isn't it?
That want to make the playoffs? Beat them. Beat them.
But they're not going to beat New England, though. I'm sorry. They're playing well, but they're not going to beat New England.
Hey, if they upset the Saints.
Huh?
They upset the Saints in New Orleans. They can easily beat New England up there. Well,
hey, listen, y'all. We have had a great time today. We've talked about some stuff. We've laughed. We've cried. we've been serious. But we're glad to be here with you. Thank you so much for supporting us on SIBN Sports. At the Sports Desk, we'll see you at the Sports Extra. This is your girl, Clara Salette. I'm out. And
Matthew Buggs, keeping you on top of your teams and news, stats, and wins. This is SIBN Sports.
Holla.
Once again, I'm Matthew Buggs, and this is SIBN Sports.
SIBN Radio on the Select